Hello everyone, this is Dawn over at Plot Chronicles. I think I just read my favorite book of the year so far. One of the most haunting, chilling, and unforgettable books I've ever read. Let's get started and talk about it. I consider this book under the genre, not a thriller, historical fiction, and I'm really beginning to love historical fiction rather than things being done in modern times. Things being done from the past. I'm really enjoying a lot of historical fiction right now. So I would say mystery and with twists and historical fiction. In this particular book, and I always say this because some people don't like books that have either a lot of real explicit romance, I'll say, a lot of bad language, gore, things like that. So this book doesn't have any of that, okay? I'll start that first. But let me tell you when it takes place. It takes place between two timelines, but a lot of the book is during 1938 to early 1940s, so World War II, and then it goes to when they're older in the 1990s, okay? But it's about a young lady named Gilly. Her name is Jillian, but she goes by Gilly. She befriends a lady named Violet. They're both about 15, going to be 16, and they're at a boarding school. Well, Gilly grew up where her father and mother, they had her, and the mother died in childbirth. Well, I guess I kind of got the impression Dad never forgave Mom, and so he kind of sends Gilly off to be with relatives like the aunt. She's always off in a boarding school, so she really never gets to know her father, but her father takes care of all of her needs. And father does remarry and they have another child, but that's not mentioned much in the book, okay? So she goes off to this boarding school, new boarding school, and she meets a very eccentric lady or girl. I keep saying a lady, young girl, teenager, and her name is Violet, and she's just very unusual with eccentric ideas, talks about unusual things, but they, began a friendship. Well, during Christmas break, Gilly was going to go stay with her aunt. She wasn't going to go stay with Dad, but she was going to be sent to go stay with her aunt. And her aunt is a nice lady, I guess, but she doesn't have that much fun there. It's kind of boring. Her aunt might be kind of stern. So she gets invited to go stay with Violet at this large mansion. And I think the name of the mansion, I wrote it down. I can't remember what it is. Thornleigh, I think, something like that. I can't remember. But it's a big mansion or estate. And this Violet has two sisters, Emmeline and Laura, and it's kind of the story of them in this mansion. But obviously the family has all sorts of secrets, just to kind of let you know that. And an accident happens. And it's what are they going to do to cover up this secret, okay? And then with covering that up, some tragedies happen and more secrets start to come out throughout the story. It is very interesting. I especially enjoyed it because it took place during 1938 to the early 40s. It talked a lot about what was happening during that time, and then it went into the 1990s and what came of all of these people. What happened to the people? I think it's Thornleigh. I think that's how you pronounce it. I might be pronouncing it wrong. Manor. What happened to the people there? The people that worked there, the people that lived there, the family members. It is very interesting. I'm really enjoying historical type fiction. I love books. I know this is kind of off topic, and I enjoyed reading them, and I know they're kind of, I guess, children's books, but I remember years ago when my daughter was really into the American Girl dolls, and we had all the books, and we actually ended up donating them, but I really enjoyed those. I loved hearing bits of history from all the American Girl dolls. It was a lot of fun because they would have ones that were during the Depression and then, during different periods of history, and would talk about that. It was just really interesting. I'd like to know, do you guys like historical fiction or books that are written during another period of history besides modern times? I'm really enjoying it, but I'm going to write this below, but I think you guys would love it. It's called The Undoing of Violet Claybourne. It's an excellent book, and the cover's just beautiful on it. So let me know if you've read it, and I will link it below. And let me know what historical fictions are your favorite books. That's all I have to say. Love you, appreciate you, and hope to see you on tomorrow's video. Bye, everybody.